To create a donut chart, all we have to do is add a bit more code to this cell here. So I'm going to copy it, paste it below. So I've cut our original pie chart that I'm going to leave as it is. And here I'm going to add my additional code. The code I'm going to add is drawing a circle onto our chart, a white circle that is. So I'll create a variable called center_circle, which is going to hold on to my circle, and use matplotlib to create a circle, plt.circle, with a capital C, open parentheses, and now we have to supply some arguments. Let me hit Shift-Tab on the circle to take a look at the quick documentation. So our circle requires one input. One input is mandatory to create it. And it basically needs to know where to center the circle. It needs an X and a Y coordinate in these parentheses like so. So we're going to give it a tuple of these coordinates. I'm just going to center it at 0, 0. And that's it. Let's add the circle to our figure. So I'll say plt.gca parentheses dot add artist parentheses center circle. And now let me hit Shift Enter. And what we get is something like this. What's going on? Well, our circle is probably too big. It's not sized correctly. So we'll have to supply a radius. I'm going to make this circle a lot smaller. Make it 0.6 for the radius and hit Shift Enter. Much better, right? We've got the circle now sitting in the middle of our pie chart. The only problem is that this circle is blue and it looks very, very odd. So let's make it white. The way we can do that is by supplying this color as an argument to a parameter called FC. FC is equal to white. We'll set the color of the circle to white. Now we've got something that looks a bit more like this. This is starting to look a lot better, right? The only thing is our offset doesn't quite work anymore. It makes it look very, very strange. So I'm going to delete the explode argument here on our pie chart and refresh our graph. There we go. Not bad. But I do want to move these percent labels. Back up here on our pie chart, we can do that with an argument called percent distance. PCT distance, all in lowercase. And if I set that to 0.8, then my percent labels start moving out. And they're more or less centered now in their segment of the donut chart. Now I'm fairly happy with this design. Let's review the code a little bit. We created a circle using matplotlib. So plt.circle is our equivalent of pd.dataframe. And then we've supplied a couple of inputs. We've supplied a color, we've supplied a size of the circle, and we've supplied where that circle should be drawn. At 0, 0, it's completely centered. Then what we did is we had to add this circle to our figure. So with plt.gca, we get the current axes. So we're getting the current axes, and we're adding the circle with the add artist method to the axes. So that adds the circle to our figure, which means it gets drawn on top of our pie chart. Okay, so we've almost mastered the donut chart. The only thing that I really want to show you is how to draw a donut chart with more than 2 categories. Because oftentimes these donut charts really come into the fore when you have 3, 4, or 5 categories. Then they start looking really, really great in all sorts of reports. So just as an exercise, let's create a donut chart with 4 categories. I'm going to copy this cell, paste it below. So I'm keeping the original and working off this one. And I'm going to add a few more category names. So say updates and promotions. Now, since we have 4 categories, I'm going to have to update my list of sizes as well. And I'm just going to make up these numbers here for the amount of spam, legitimate emails, updates, and promotions. So say we have 25 spam emails and, 43 legitimate emails, 19 updates, and 22 promotions. So we've got that. Now it's just a matter of picking the colors. We can keep the red and blue, but we have to add 2 more colors that fit well with this palette. Going back to our American palette from Flat UI Colors, I think I'm going to go for the light green and maybe the sour lemon here, the yellow. So I'm going to copy this, update our list here, making sure that the hex code of the color is in single quotes. And I'm going to copy the sour lemon for the promotions. There we go. Now I've got my 4 categories. Let me hit Shift Enter and see what this looks like at the moment. Not bad, right? But what if we wanted to have a small gap between each of these categories? What if we wanted to explode the donut chart the way we've exploded our pie chart? And the easiest way to do this is to create another list of values. Say offset is equal to square brackets, and then maybe 0.05, 0.05, 0.05. I'll make the offset equal between all of the categories. 0.05 as well. Then for the pie chart, we'll just say explode is equal to offset. Now let me hit Shift Enter and look at our results. Brilliant. And that's really all there is to it. I think pie charts they're simple, they're clear, they're easy to code up, but you can also make them look very, very good with the right choice of colors and a little thought on the formatting. Having done some cute visualizations in the past lessons, it's now time to return to do some hardcore programming. In the next couple of lessons, we're going to be looking at natural language processing. We can't just feed raw email bodies into our machine learning algorithm. We need to prepare these emails for our Bayes classifier to work. I'd say this step probably falls a little bit more into the data cleaning part of the project, but it will equip you with some very, very powerful tools and techniques to tackle all kinds of text data that you're going to be encountering on your personal projects as well. Natural language processing is a huge topic, and it's super lucrative and super interesting. So I hope you're as excited as I am for the next section. I'll see you in the next lessons. Take care.